Hello everybody, my name is Will, and welcome to a brand new game called Ramshackle. This has been in development for one hell of a long time, and I had absolutely no idea that it was going on. I have been informed by Coulson that this game is a thing, and I've done a little bit of testing to just see what's up. And as you can see, I've built some semblance of a tank. It's some kind of Panzer 38T thing. So the whole shtick going on here is that this is another tank designing game. It's a little bit earlier access than Sprocket, and because of another feature, which I'll explain in a second, things are maybe just a little bit more on the janky side in the sense of how you build things. Now, I will elaborate further on that, but the game is already multiplayer capable. That's the kind of big thing that this game has going for it, and that's something that Sprocket's had on its roadmap for a little while. We'll see whether that comes up on the new roadmap that's getting planned, but generally speaking, this game is going to be much more multiplayer-oriented than Sprocket will likely ever be. So Sprocket is always going to have the better tank designer, but this game needs to be concerned about things like balance and making sure that you've got some kind of matchmaking system going on, and therefore, ultimately, you need to put certain limitations on the builder, because if you just let, like, massively multiplayer sessions go on with Sprocket, you know exactly what would happen, and that would be we would get an absolutely ridiculous meta of building, like, the biggest slope ever and just putting the most powerful gun in the universe on that thing. And that's, you know how that's going to be. We can pretend that it wouldn't be, it would. But this game needs to concern itself with things like that. So therefore, you are limited a little bit more in what you can do. I'm going to be building a tank today, and then we're going to have a little 1v1 or some kind of multiplayer action, hopefully with Coulson or the Wonder Waffle a little bit later in this video. Also, his channel will be linked in the description, and his point of view should be going up around about the same time that my video goes up, plus or minus however long either of us take to actually edit this and get it done. I have been kindly provided with access to this game. It is in testing, essentially. This is not an alpha, a beta, or anything like that. As far as I'm aware, it is literally just here as a bit of an open source project, I believe. So bear that in mind as we go ahead into this video. Things are going to be a little bit jank. Things are very, very early in the development cycle. Do not judge it as a finished product, because that it absolutely is not. And also, a competitor to Sprocket, this is not. That's not what they're going for. Once again, this is more like a Robocraft competitor than it is a Sprocket competitor. So if you're just here for tank design, this isn't going to be the place for it. So without any further ado, that's a lot of ado, we're going to get into building something, and I don't know, I doubt we'll be able to do a time-lapse with this because of the way that the builder works, but I'll probably just show you the individual bits and pieces of how you put a tank together and then important stages. So anyway, that's all of the ado. Let's go. So the first thing that I really need to show you about this designer is that unlike Sprocket, where you get complete freedom over all of your parts, presumably for balance reasons, we have individual components that we choose and then we can place. As you can see, if we go to firepower here, there is a certain subset of cannons. We've got a 127mm here. You can see that gets HE shells, 90mm cannon here with heat, and you're basically, you're stuck with what you get in terms of the guns, but this will be for balance reasons, and you can see that each of these has been given a tier. So our 6-pounder 57mm is a tier 1, then we got 95mm, 20mm autocannon, all of these in tier 2. Tier 3 has like the long 88mm cannon and early Cold War 90mm, all the way up to your modern tank cannons, which is tier 5. So there's quite a wide variety of stuff here, and you'll get presumably match made based on your points and the tier that you're in. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm going to assume by just reading into this. Anyway, I'm going to start with the tracks here, and immediately what you'll notice is we have this kind of grid on the ground. As we scroll, you can see that grid goes up and down. So this is kind of how you can deal with the elevation of different things. And if we hit M here, we will turn on mirror mode. Now, I'm not 100% sure the size of this tank we want. Also, when you're placing your tracks, you click to place your sprocket, and then you place your idler, and it's going to fill in that gap with road wheels. We can then adjust it. So here, we've ended up with 6 road wheels, and you know what? Actually, I'm not going to adjust that. That's pretty good. Pretty much what I was going for. We can move the whole lot up just to get it out of the ground. And as you can see, we got some controls on the right-hand side that we can do here. We can adjust the direction of our sprocket. We can change the rotation of the mounting point for the sprocket. That'll come important later. We have track tension that we can tweak, make it just incredibly tense for no reason, or really, really loose. Then we can adjust the length of our torsion bars, which we probably don't want to have them too long, given that they were just sticking out the other side of the tank. Now, obviously, the next step is going to be to put a hull on it, and what we can do is we can go back into our parts menu, and go to structure, and you get these different materials, and we're going to take our cast steel here, which is going to allow us to do kind of freeform parts, essentially. And I'm going to start on this layer slightly above this piece, take one corner, drag it out, and then we're going to drag it to the back. And as you can see, we're basically drawing a polygon, which is going to be the part that we place. And when we want to confirm our piece, we can double-click, and that will place the part in the world on our tank. Now, obviously, you can see that this isn't connecting to the bottom here, so let's make an adjustment. We want to press G. That's going to open up vertex adjusting. And then once we select 2 points, we can press the key for, I believe it's right shift by default, creating a new point, and then we can drag this point down so that these are now connecting to the actual hull, and then we'll repeat it at the back, and we have a bit of a V shape on the bottom of the hull, which is going to be some kind of attempt at making it look like it has mine protection. I don't know. This is probably going to end up kind of Cold War-y, so I think it makes sense that we shape it like this. We could add a little bit more of a curve between these two, but I think, given that this is the underside of the tank, that's probably fine. We do have a limit for the number of nodes that we can add to our tank, because obviously you don't want to just lag out every single server that you connect to. That's not going to make for a very interesting game. Okay, we've got some semblance of a hull going on here. What we can do now is we can actually add a guy to sit on in here. He's like a robot of some variety. I don't really know. But we can just about kind of get away with squeezing him in here. He might clip with the bottom a little bit, but I think we're probably too far in to go back on that now. We can add a little hatch, a little bit more headroom, but he's a robot. He'll live. Okay, what you missed there, and what I slightly cut out, is there's been quite a lot of refactoring of the old hull. You can see now I've had to remove the side having a bit of an angle to it. Things were not working with that design. So, that's gone. That is one of the downsides of this game so far, and being in early access is sometimes things get a little bit janky. You can see I've got to work on these side panels here. These aren't quite right, but hopefully we should be all good now, and everything is connected. Nothing's highlighted in red anymore, so we're about ready to put the finishing touches on the shape of this hull and really start getting the engine and the transmission in there. And here we have it. It's not a hugely complex drivetrain, I can't lie. We have a single tank transmission at the back here. This is a tier 4 item. This handles both your drive and your steering, so we get neutral steering with this thing, which is quite handy. And as you can see, that's connected directly up to this V8 engine, which we can, within tier 4, upgrade to a V12 if we need a bit more power. But I thought we'd just start here with the V8. We probably need to go up to a V12 by the end. You can also, by the way, hide parts. You don't have to levitate them like that if you do that, but every single time you reload it, those unhide themselves automatically so that you don't forget that you've placed parts. But that means that, you know, when you're making a lot of changes like I was, I just wanted to move them out of the way. But now, what we have, hopefully, yep, all playing well, is a tank that can drive around of some variety. Obviously, there's a long way to go in terms of detail and also, you know, having a gun, but that is something that we can handle. And hopefully we can make it pretty good. We might need a little bit more room for the turret up front there. I have just noticed how much larger the engine deck is. Okay, so what we do actually need to do is make a gap for our turret. So unlike in Sprocket where you get the circle tool, unfortunately what we're going to do is just kind of make our pieces fit around the turret piece, which is here. There we go. And we just want to basically place that in the center here, get it to the size that we want, and make sure that it's going to fit with all of our components. You can see our driver is maybe a little bit far back. I think we can move him forwards, although, well, at the moment he's moving with all of the parts. But I'll get that done, and then I will get back to you. Okay, there we go. Turret is placed, and as you can see, it is all connected up and working. So this is going to rotate around. Our crew efficiency is going to be really, really low at the moment because we only have the one guy in there, but we've got plenty of room to fit a second one up front, and then whoever we have in the turret as well. So this is going pretty nicely, if you had to ask me. Okay, I've built a turret on here. I think it's a bit too small, to be entirely honest. It's going to be one hell of a job to scale this up. Because there's no nice select all scale up uniformly like there is in Sprocket. You just kind of have to manually edit every single plate into place, and as you can see, that's quite a lot of plates. So we might just have to settle with a baby turret, but we'll see what kind of a gun we can fit in here. We're going to be looking at, you know, one of these tier 4s probably. Likely this 105mm cannon, which is pretty hefty, I can't lie. So it might be a bit of a squeeze getting crew and stuff in here, especially once we armor this up. But we do need to get a little bit of an actual elevation mechanism into this. So in here you can go to, I believe it's in utility, and we get, yep, there we go, a trunnion. So this obviously is going to be how we rotate our, well, main gun basically, upwards and down. We can rotate this like so that it attaches to the bottom of our turret, and that should be sufficient to have a gun mounted to it. We can go into firepower, pick back our 115mm gun, swap it round to be the right orientation, make sure that it's blue when we're placing it, and it looks like that fits. I mean, I think the gun's sideways at the moment, but you know, the Sherman Firefly did it, so therefore I should be able to do it, right? Is it even sideways? No, I don't think it was sideways. I think that was the right way up. Maybe I'm just going completely crazy. And then we can just make it a little bit more central, and when we go into test, this should all work in theory. We are just stuck aiming down. I don't really know why that is. It might be because our trunnion, yeah, I think it's because our trunnion is technically 90 degrees. Right, I'm trying to cheese the game and it's not going to let me, I don't think. Okay, there we go. That is working now. We have a gun, we have a turret, and we have elevation. So this is almost functional. We need ammo, obviously, a lot of decoration, and an armored mantler, because at the moment that's going to be very, very vulnerable to anybody who wants to shoot back, which in a tank happens every now and then, I've heard. Okay, this is quite the improvement. We now have a slightly more reasonably sized turret. It's maybe still a little bit on the small side, but we also have 3 crew members in the turret itself, and as you can see, a pretty chunky mantler up here, which should help us a little bit in not getting killed. We can't seem to rotate our turret all the way around. I think it believes that I'm colliding with the back of my tank there. I don't think I am, but we might need to give that a little bit of attention there, otherwise, yeah, problems might occur. Okay, a little bit of fiddling around later, and everything is working. I've moved the engine deck a little bit back, made it slant a little bit less. Now our turret is rotating very, very cleanly. We've got our mantler armored up now I just need to add a little bit of armor elsewhere on the tank and put in some ammo, and we are functional, and we can see how much space we have left for things like decorations, because obviously I want to put fender flares on this, maybe hide the fact that the suspension arms are just not really connected to the tank, add some stowage boxes, stuff like that, and potentially upgrade to the V12 engine, because as you can see, it's not the nippiest thing in the world. It is a little bit slow, and turning especially isn't the best, so it might be a good idea to go to the V12. Okay, here we go. We're cooking with something here. Painted in green, we got some big old blocks of armor on the front of the turret, which are designed to, you know, stop you from just blasting clean through the entire front of the turret. You kind of still can. The problem with these kind of hexy turrets, which I've tried to build here, is it turns out it's incredibly hard to get the armor to play ball in this, because unlike Sprocket, you don't get the control where you can say, oh, I want this to be axis aligned, I want this to be aligned with the, you know, plate normal, whatever. It's just kind of whatever the game gives you, so we don't have a huge amount of control when it comes to that, and as a result, yeah, not very well armored. But we're going to try and make amends in that domain and see what we can do visually. But it might not be the best tank in the world, but hey, at least it looks kind of neat, you know? Okay, here we are with roughly what is probably going to be our finished product, to be entirely honest. This is probably not going to be very good. The armor isn't hugely thick, to be entirely honest. It's not the most expertly built tank ever, but here you go, it's my first tank, so it is what it is. We've tried to add a little bit of armor here and there. The kind of, obviously you can see that the cheeks have this big old block of armor on the side of them. They should be relatively well armored. This thing weighs 75 tons, so there's armor, and also the front should be pretty decent. If I fire a shot there, as you can see, it does next to nothing. So there's some armor going on, but not a huge amount, to be entirely honest, and I have a feeling we're going to lose whatever fights we put this thing into, but that's kind of all part of the learning process, so that's kind of okay. Overall, though, I think the tank looks pretty darn snazzy. There's definitely some difficulties with building a cast turret like this one has in Ramshackle. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. In the current moment of time, I would recommend building all of your turrets as cast, because wow, this has been a nightmare getting this thing to actually load in. It would be really nice if we got a little bit more reliable part checking at the moment, so things highlight in red if they're kind of clipping with something else, and they also highlight if they're not connected, stuff like that, and then they go blue or green when they are connected, which does work the vast majority of the time, but sometimes when you like load in for the first time, it just doesn't quite get it, so that seems to be a little bit of a bug at the moment, but I'm sure that'll get fixed with time, and, you know, the intention is there with the system, so once the system has all of its flaws ironed out, I imagine that will be much more usable than what it is at the moment. As you can see, this thing isn't the quickest tank in the world still. It's not slow by any stretch of the imagination, but we're not going to be breaking any land speed records. As I said before, it is 75 tons, so the fact that it's going 60 kilometers an hour at all is pretty impressive, to be entirely honest. We also only fire heat shells, so as you can see, that target all the way over there is a little bit on the distant side, and oh, I mean, I just absolutely nailed my first complete guess shot, but I was going to say it might be a little bit difficult to aim, but apparently I'm just goated, so maybe we'll win on just pure skill, because I am clearly dripping with skill right now. I think it's about time that we meet up with Coulson and we fight these things, because I don't really know what else to do with this, and I can only really learn by doing. Okay, I know I said I was done. I have learned something since I said I was done, which is the points are actually down in the bottom left here, so you can see how many LP we have. We have 3,976, and in the last clip you will see I was over 4,000. We were aiming for tier 4, so I've just had to take a couple bits out. I took out the fire computer because, well, I wasn't using it properly anyway, let's be honest. And I downgraded the engine from the V12 to the V8, so even though I was complaining about mobility, we now have even slightly worse mobility, but that's probably fine. It won't make the tank any better, but we'll see how it does and go from there. I'm imagining it's not going to be spectacular, but I've been surprised before, and I can be surprised again, but this is a learning experience for all of us, so let's just go and see how hard we get our asses handed to us, and yeah, it's not looking great. You're already at A? Oh my god.
I think that's one of my AI capturing it right now.
Well, I'll just kill him. It's easy. I don't have any AI. It's just me.
I think you have to go back and deploy them individually if they don't just deploy themselves.
There we go. Okay. Now I have bots. Yeah. There's an army of Mark 1 crappos now. They've got your name on them. Well, they don't. I didn't go through that much effort, but if you just think that they do, that'd be great. Thank you. Whoa! What's this? Oh no, my sight is in my armor plate. Hello.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Something's happened. I don't know what, but you're on fire now. Wait, what happened to your gun? Did you always have one big gun? I thought you had like 4 tiny ones. Oh, you do.
This is
They're
one of
just
the funny
coaxial.
variants.
What is going on? No, get off me. Hang on. You just wait. You just wait, sunshine. There we go. Bit of heat in your engine bay. How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
Uh-oh.
There's your track. Oh god. Oh god. My eyes. It's so hard to see when you're shooting me. Come on. There we go. Victory.
Aw, yeah.
I'm all down. All down for your bots sitting at the spawn doing nothing. I think mine is struggling to climb a hill. The pathfinding I don't think is accounted for the fact that I have like 4 horsepower. What? Someone's going to space. What the hell? I think Molly's just exploded in like the most comedic fireball ever. Go on, Marshall. Look at that. Look at that armor plating. Oh. Oh, that looked like a good shot. Oh, yep. I get so confused seeing, because I'm the orange team, I keep thinking that means enemy. Oh, no.
Yep.
You made me burn. Stop that, Molly. Stop that. You were supposed to be dead, Molly. Shmove it. I need to shmove it. Oh, my God. What is going on? Where's your ammo rack? Where's my gun? Oh, man. That's no good. Come on, bots. I need this A point. Oh, God. There's one of them in that. Oh, it's Molly again. Molly's MVP on your team, honestly. Oh! Headshot. I found the ammo rack in other news. For goodness sake, get your head in the game. Hello, Caitlin. There we go. That's another ammo rack. I found your secrets, Carlson. Oh, I'm so slow. I can't even drive up this hill. Molly's in the damn cap circle. Get out of my cap circle. It is sturdy. If not, you know, entirely unprone of exploding when I hit the ammo rack, but I guess that's an unfair expectations. You little... That, I know that's you. Oh, you're joining Benita in the swamp. 2 can play at that game. I'm coming down. Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't expecting to see that one down there.
Who knew that Bonita in the swamp would be the most valuable place of my AIs? What is going on here? Caitlin is like just being dragged along the floor with me. I can't... Go away! No! Get off me! No! I don't like this. This is a violation. Please. Oh, God. Caitlin's dragged me onto a slippery slope, and now I can't get out. What is this takedown strategy?
And yeah, I'm finding these 90 mils aren't as effective.
Yeah, those 20 mils, like, just for blinding me, honestly, are surprisingly effective. The amount of smoke and, like, tracer that they kick up is pretty crazy. I think you're going to win this. I don't really know. What is the victory condition? Is it just who holds the cap at the end, or?
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
Got 30 seconds until we find out, either way. Boom. That did nothing. Oh my god, I just skimmed the top of Caitlin's tank. Come on! That did something. Why is Marshall just the GOAT today? Honestly, he's been carrying. Hello. What did that even do? That did nothing. I feel like I should be able to go through your side armor. Okay, we've returned to hub. Who won? What happened? I don't know.
It's not gonna tell us. Oh well.
I feel like it would be dishonest if I claimed a victory there. I can't lie.
I do wonder what the victory conditions will be in the future.
I imagine it'll just be points. The person who builds up the most points over the match will win, and it'll be like, you know, your typical battle mode in War Thunder or something. Okay, Model 2 made. I'm trying to fix a couple of the problems that we've identified. So the armor is the same, but as you can see, the engine is back to the V12 that we had in earlier, so that's a little bit better. And now we have this slightly weaker 90mm gun. I'm going off the assumption that it will be good enough to go through the lighter tanks that Coulson has brought. But yeah, the 105mm howitzer wasn't really cooking, so we'll try this, but I'm not hugely hopeful. Let us go. Okay, this time I'm confident that we're gonna absolutely smash it. The Crappos, you know, their name brings so much confidence to the battlefield. Thank you for your faith. I thought this was gonna be a little like sneak path here. No. Oh well, let's drive down this cliff. That has gone so much better than I ever could have expected it doing.
Oh wow, I've actually got more than 2 AI driving out this time. And
yeah, my bots are doing a pretty good job. There is so much chaos going on in the middle of the map, and I am not part of any of it yet. Oh, almost killed Marty. He's so low. There we go. There goes Marty. Come on, bots. Yeah, get Coulson. Look at that. That was a good hit. Whatever just hit you. How's it going? You're looking a bit worse for wear there. Yep. Oh my. Oh gosh, I'm being rammed. The version with like 4 machine guns is absolutely hilarious. 4 different sized autocannons. No. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. Horde tactics from Coulson. I can see how your tank might fall over every now and then. When they stop, the AI just jumps so much.
Yep.
You targeting me? That's so rude. I can't believe you do this to me. I thought we had something, you know?
Does it actually show when you do that?
Yeah, it showed a little like target symbol on my tank and said the Wonder Waffle. Oh, it's really working. They are not shooting any of my bots. There's Travis gone. This 90mm is the way forward. I mean, I've lost all of my ammo. Okay, that's not good. Hello. That one's you, isn't it? It's weird, like moving your hull feels like it does less than rotating the turret in terms of reducing accuracy. Hello, I saw you there. Don't think I didn't see you. You're trying to sneak around behind. None of that. None of that. Some of that, maybe. Ow. My bones. All of my bones. Haha, yes! My allies. Oh my gosh, every single time you fire, it's like a dust cloud just forms in the, like,
yep.
large vicinity around my tank. Stop it! No! Oh, there goes my gun. Damn it! I'm just taking you walkies, man. Taking you walkies. Here. Up this way. We're going to my spawn, Carlson. We're going. Oh, is my track just destroyed? No! No! This is a heartbreak. Heartbreak of all heartbreaks. The guy there must be terrified. Oh dear. He's not terrified anymore. Bless him. I got to admit, I am impressed with the server sync. It's doing a surprisingly good job for a game this early in development. Normally with these you get a little bit of like ghosting and glitching around.
Oh, you mean the multiplayer stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing too bad, and that's considering we're in opposite sides of the world almost.
Well, yeah, you're Australia, aren't you? So ping's not going to be any better than like 300 milliseconds at best. To be fair, it's saying I have a ping of 75, but I don't know how that's even possible. There is just so much chaos going on in the center of the map right now. Oh, what a snipe. What's happening to my tanks, man? There seems to be a problem with them today. They're all exploding. You've exploded. That makes me feel better. No offense. Oh, Brian's taking a tumble. He slid for like 200 meters on his side. Oh my gosh. It's just so hard to hit your tanks. They're so quick to accelerate.
That's the part that makes them a bit fun, at least.
There we go. I hit it. There's a hell of a lot of shots going off over there somewhere. Oh, it's Travis, and no one's stopping him. He's just sat in the capture zone. No one seems to want to stop him from capturing. I will stop him from capturing. You down there. Oh no. Excuse
Hello.
me. Excuse me. No. Oh, what a shot. There we go. That was a nice hit on a moving target there. I thought I tracked him. Oh, another one. Another good hit.
I find it funny that the MG variant of this vehicle is one of the better ones I have.
Yeah, it's those like really rapid firing guns seem to just shred armor plates off rather than going through them. And it's pretty effective at just doing that. I don't really know what the maths are behind, like, how's it doing. It's clearly doing like a set of damage to a plate, and then because I'm made out of so many plates, given the cast turret, like, individual plates mustn't have much hit points, and therefore you're cutting a little tiny hole in and opening up the components to damage. It probably would make sense if you're fighting a little autocannon tank to do something like Sprocket has with the composite armor, where you've got multiple smaller plates stacked on top of each other, but maybe I'm completely incorrect. Who knows? What's making me very nervous is I don't know where you are. I see all of your bots. Into the horde. Hi, bud. I've only got one bullet, one round left. There we go. It's blown up. I've got no bullets. I think I had an internal fire start, and oh, where have your guns gone?
I don't know.
Fair enough. I would recommend keeping better track of those in the future. They tend to be fairly useful. Can you repair if you drive back to your base?
Yep.
Oh, I've just always respawned when I get low on health. Right, we've only got a minute left. I think last time you probably held the cap for as long as our teams held the caps. Probably slightly longer than our teams held the cap this time. So, there you go. You win one, I win one. And then we can leave it as a happy couple. That sounds weird. That sounds weird when I say it like that.
Just a little.
I mean, you know, I'm just kidding unless, you know. That's not going in the video. Right, come on. I've lost all scruples. We got like 20 seconds left. I'm getting involved here. Come here, Brian. Eat that. Point blank range. Which one of these is you? That's you. I knew it was going to be one of them. Oh, something big blew up there. And on me, actually. I can't really move anymore. And that's the game. Wound up with us both within 2 foot of each other. Ah, man. My loader's wounded. And there we go. Well, there we go. That was the multiplayer segment of Ramshackle. So, as you can see, there's still a couple of things to iron out in terms of the server connectivity, but it's definitely one of the parts of the game where you can really see what they're trying to do shining through. Obviously, in the designer, there's still quite a lot of quirks, and generally speaking, what I've done here is build something that I think plays to all of the flaws of the game, so the fact that I managed to get it to work at all, I'm kind of impressed by. I was expecting to kind of have to give up on this tank, not, to be entirely honest, like, not hugely long into building it, because it was proving a little bit of a headache. But in the end, we've managed to build a somewhat reasonable tank, at least against the other tank that was built by a complete noob to this game. I'm sure to somebody who knows a little bit more about what they're doing, this tank is probably absolutely rubbish. And nothing particularly special, but it's my tank, so there you go. Obviously, I'm going to just say here, there is going to be a fair number of people who've watched this video and decided that this game doesn't look like a finished product, and that is known by me, known by the developer, and hopefully known by you as well. I ask that whatever you do after your take on this video, if you're going to choose not to support the game, if that be your decision, do not harass the developers. Do not harass the people who are working on this project. They don't need it. It's not fair. Please just withhold from saying anything nasty about the game if you can. It's not going to help anyone at this moment in time in its development cycle. Constructive feedback, I'm sure they'll be as glad as anybody to receive that. So if you do have that, and you can provide any assistance, absolutely join their Discord, have a look around, lend a hand here and there, but just don't give these people flack. They don't need it. That's all. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more stuff kind of like this. But I will see you in the future. Goodbye. And as always, a huge thank you to my YouTube super supporters: Cody Fox, Yoki, Dougie Stug3, Mullen, Goiken, Peter Holmes, Peter Seaford, CamJam135, and Terra. And a huge thank you to all my regular tier supporters as well.